beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about two things, as you can see based on the whatever it is, how I named it down below. So it's going to be jealousy and envy. These two things, I've never, first of all, do you even know what difference is? Do you know what jealousy is, what envy is? A lot of people confuse the two. A lot of people maybe describe something as being jealous, yet they're envious, and vice versa. So I just want to, first of all, I'm gonna explain what those two are, and then I'm gonna separately talk about them. So both of them are emotions of a low vibration. So whoever puts envy and jealousy in the same cup as love has nothing to do with one another. So first of all, jealousy is when you, let's say a partner, you think you're gonna lose him or her. Jealousy is something when you think you're gonna lose someone or something, mostly someone. But jealousy is insecurity. So jealousy is when you don't have self-confidence, so you don't own anyone. So let's face it, you don't own anyone. So, just by thinking you're going to lose someone, you don't own them in the first place. But anyway, so jealousy is being afraid of losing someone. With envy, when you're envious of someone or when you envy someone, it's because you want something that they have, but you don't have, and you don't think you can achieve it. You don't think it's maybe possible for you, or that you don't deserve it. But essentially, you don't have what that other person has, and now you envy that person. Again, emotion of the low vibration. So let's talk about separately one and then the other. First off, I'm going to start talking about jealousy, because a lot of people, for me, are jealous with no reason. I know there was a saying, not a saying, but people just say, like, if you're not jealous, are you really in love? Come on. I'm guessing people who are jealous are the people who say those things just so they can maybe defend themselves or have an excuse for it. But essentially, jealousy is just not having enough confidence in yourself. Not enough, probably not at all. And if you hold on to your partner too tightly, and you he or she is on the leash, figuratively, they are gonna run away faster than you think. Because when you suffocate someone with that jealousy, it's really, really hard. I have the first experience of having a partner who was jealous. I had a partner who was jealous, and this was one of my first serious, long-term relationships, where he wasn't even showing that he was jealous in the beginning, because he knew that I don't believe in jealousy. For me at the time, I didn't know how to explain it. But jealousy for me was like when you're obsessed with someone, and obsession is not love. When you're, I don't know, it was just too, for me, if you get to that point where you're jealous, you're not in love. It wasn't in my book anyway. So in the first 2 years and few months, everything was fine. Everything was, someone would say peachy. There was nothing. All of a sudden, just like that, everything changes. And we went from that beautiful relationship to him being jealous, and then tomorrow him apologizing that he, made an assumption that I was maybe with someone. And then the other day, oh, you're probably cheating on me. And then the next day, oh, I'm sorry. And it kept going on and on and on and on and on. And by I don't know, let's say this lasted maybe 8 months, because I know we were closely approaching the 3 years being together. By that time, I wasn't even in love anymore. It was over. And for me, always do the best you can do for the relationship. So, when you end it, you have no guilt. You have no, oh, maybe I should have done that. So for me, always try to, if you're ending the relationship, but you did everything that you could have done, and there's nothing else you can do. But for me, that was how I felt. I wasn't in love anymore. it was more suffocating. We started fighting for him imagining something in his head. I just couldn't, it was dead. For me, it was dead. It was gone. I didn't like being in a relationship where you break up and then they go back together and then break up and go back together. It's just when you end, but then you gave it your all. There's nothing you can do anymore. And like for me, I wasn't in love anymore, so that was pretty much, you don't stay in a relationship just for the sake of being with someone. But anyway, not being that person that someone is jealous of you, because I was never jealous of anyone. Why would I be jealous of anyone? I never even realized what the jealousy meant in terms of insecurity, in terms of afraid of losing someone. But for me, if you give your partner a freedom in terms of what your partnership is by your definition. So I'm not saying, letting someone do whatever he or she wants that you don't approve of. But let's say someone wants to go and hang out with their mates. If they're going out with their mates, just having fun, not doing anything bad, not hurting you or your relationship, not, just having fun, why would you be, let's say that person is having fun and it's texting you, oh my God, it's great. And then you're like, maybe you're great, but maybe there's someone else there that's, why would you put yourself through that hell? It is hell that you create in your head. If that person is with someone, at least live it through it once. If you find out that he or she was with someone, you'll know, but you live it through it once, not every single time that they're out, not every single time that you can't watch them and look what they're doing. If you give your partner a freedom, and if they come back, they always say like, let them go, and if they come back, they're meant to be back. If they're like, well, what if I let them go and he doesn't come back, or she? Isn't that wonderful? It was a favor done to you, so it's actually a good thing. If you let go of someone and that person does not want to come back, it's amazing. Can you imagine how lower your standards are if you let someone go, they leave, they don't want to be with you anymore, they run off with someone else, and then you cry over that person? Then your standards are really low, and you really need to think about why. There are people that are fine with it, but most of people aren't. You need to really look deep into yourself and try to figure out why you don't have that enough self-esteem, why you don't think you deserve better, why you've set the bar low, why are you crying over someone that is not deserving of you? You need to ask yourself that, if that's the case. But for me, I've never been that. If you want to go out, have fun. For me, the only thing is just don't lie. Simple. Be honest, tell the truth. If you want to go out, I even told my partner a few times when he goes out, and I just told him, listen, if you're just not going to come back and sleep here, if you're going to stay at your mates, or you're too drunk to even go and catch a taxi, or, even if you're going to go and sleep next to the bushes or whatever, just let me know. So I know not to worry. You're at the mate's house, mate's place, wherever you are, so I don't have to wait for you back home. Or if you're not going to be texting me, let me know. Listen, maybe my phone is going to die, I maybe not be texting you for hours. Just let me know in that sense, so I don't have to worry. And that's it. The main thing you have to do in the relationship, at least I think, is to discuss what love is for you two. My professor at uni, he said this, but he said, if you tell someone I love you, and that person says I love you back, you think they say I love you in the same way that you do, but then after years pass by, or maybe just a couple of months, but usually after years, or maybe you live together, now you have kids, now whatever, then you realize it's not the same I love you as I had. he or she had a different I love you than you have towards them. Now, whether this was his personal experience with his partner, I don't know, maybe whether he read it in a book or had it, some of his, or, friends, I don't know. But it was really, I was actually, are you talking about you and your wife? We'll never know. But anyway, he really was right. You do not know what goes inside someone's head when they say I love you back. So for me, it's really important to talk about what relationship is to you when you're together. And this is in the beginning of the relationship. What does for you mean the relationship? What for the other person? Do you believe in the same type of love? What does I love you mean for you? Because I think this is really, at least in the beginning, if you see that something is not right, you can at least right from the start, and then think whether that, if you agree with that or not. Always go with the presumption, is it that? Whatever, that person, whatever he or she tells you, is never gonna change. If they're never gonna change, can you accept that person the way that it is now, and that what's telling you who they are, what they like, what they don't like, how they behave, what, that their relationship definition is? It's really, really important. Usually what women do, it's, I don't know why, it's a woman's thing, someone's thing. I'm having the best time. Anyway, I don't even know what I wanted to say now. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's usually women's thing to think that a man is going to change, that their partner is going to change. Maybe, I don't know, he now shouts at the football games and, yells, but maybe he won't be as passionate about it next time, and maybe he won't be furious next time his team loses. And whenever you start, usually they don't change, and I always go with, okay, if you never change, if you stay exactly who you are, because usually they do, not in terms of, we change every day, not in that sense, but in this sort of areas, if they don't change, for instance, someone goes out with their mates drinking every night and they're having fun, they're having loads of great time, and you meet someone who goes out with their mates every single night, and then you're like, well, maybe in the future he won't be spending that much time with his mates, and maybe he won't be every evening. Don't think about that. Think about now. Or, if that person maybe tells you, listen, I want to change that, that's different. But if they don't tell you that, now, do you accept them who they are now? Don't set your standards low. Don't think, oh, I don't want to be alone. He's sort of there. Okay, I'll skip few things. Maybe he'll change them in the future. But usually it's like, oh, he'll change that. He'll probably change that. Yeah, he will. Usually women are like, well, yeah, it's only that one thing. We'll see if we can change that in the future. But for now, let's let it be. But you are sending the message to your partner, okay, you accept the way that I am right now. And if you don't tell them that you mind something in the beginning, later on, if you tell them later on, you sort of don't have a case to begin with, because you had the time to tell him or her what you don't mind, and if that's possible of change, and if what you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, for me, that's really big deal. I sort of had an unfortunate, I don't know, but I've had many partners who were jealous. Now I know, in essence, I know why, because I was sort of even beginning the relationship with, listen, I don't like jealous people. If you tell me that you're jealous, we're done. Everyone is going to say, like, no, I'm not. And then afterwards snap when they can't handle it anymore. They're like, so again, but I was way younger back then, and I didn't know, like again, I didn't even know how to define jealousy. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know, kind of I knew, but I didn't know. They actually say if you don't know to explain something to 6-year-old, then you really don't understand what you're talking about, whether it's some definition of some word or, you know, whatever it is. So if you can put it in that simple terms so that, you know, someone can really understand you, what you're talking about, then you really understand it. And back then I didn't really understand it. So for me, anything that was related to jealousy, it wasn't related to love, which sounds even nowadays. So if you want to change that and not being jealous, you need to look inward. That's why meditation is good, because you can have like, not just to be in a silence in terms of not have any thoughts, but you can talk to yourself. Listen, I am this, that, what I don't like about me. And then you chat with yourself. I have this. I don't like that. When I feel jealous, I don't feel good. Usually it makes me angry. Now, why it makes you angry? I don't know if you've noticed, if there's a jealous person around, or two, you usually go to that like depression state of being powerless. But because that is the lowest possible vibration, we usually don't stay in it for too long, because it's too uncomfortable, because it's the furthest away from the truth. And the next one on the scale is anger. It's rage, because you have some sort of you think you have some sort of control over it. And that's why usually it ends up with fighting and screaming and yelling and throwing maybe plates or whatever you throw. Not when you're on the wedding and throw, but this is out of rage. So the best ones are the plates at the wedding. I don't know, I don't think all of the countries have this, but you know, in ours we do. Anyway, so that I'm just thinking about, it's so amazing. But from parting aspect and knowing which corner to throw it at, it's the best. Usually we don't have it, but anyway, we just strayed there a bit. But the second thing I want to talk about is envy. Now, why is it low vibration? Because you don't feel good when you feel envy of some person. When you envy a person, when you envy a person, you don't feel good, because you think how you don't have a certain thing, how you wish you had that, how you usually think negatively about the person as well, just because they have that. Now, if you put a little bit ego to the side, just a tiny bit, just let it rest. I'm going to tell you something, so just let it rest a bit. If you do envy a person, there is something about that person that you like, because if it weren't that, then you wouldn't envy them, because they wouldn't have what you want to have. So there is something about that person that you like, that you wish you had, but you need to go inwards of why you think you can't achieve this. Was it your parents telling you, oh, you can't do everything that you want in life? Or, usually parents are like, oh, you can do anything that you want in your life. You can't do that. You can't do that. Well, good luck to you if you do that. If you achieve that, okay. Like, well done. It's not really supportive, is it? For me, my beliefs are that you can achieve whatever you want, but and you have passion about. Because I want to do a lot of things, but I'm certainly not passionate about everything. I'm interested in so many different things, but again, probably a lot of us wish that we can read every book in the world and that we can know everything from history, geography, or when you have those quizzes like, oh, I wish I know a question to every answer. But not all of us are going to sit down and read every day's newspapers and every book that we can, and just we're not interested in that sort of stuff. So what you're passionate about and you believe in yourself that you can do it, then but usually people don't believe in themselves. That's, again, you need to look inwards. Who convinced you that you can't achieve, that you don't deserve, that all that sort of things. Because when you see a person, from my aspect, that has something that I don't, I'm like, oh my God, that's possible. Oh my God, look at that. I saw a house the other day, like that, those luxury villas with enormous pools, and I don't know, I mean, you know, all the, you know, billionaires, millionaires, you know, whatever they are. And I'm like, oh my God, that exists. Oh my God, that's so amazing. I don't go, well, they have that. Of course they have it, because I don't know, God knows what they are doing. And maybe it's not even good earned money, and probably they're not even paying taxes, and, you know, those, you know, so I don't swear. But, you know, there are two ways of looking at it. And you can see the first one that was so enthused, that's the high vibration, but it's not envy. That's like, oh my God, that's possible. Or if you see the love that you wish for, you're like, oh my God, that's possible. Oh my God, I can't believe that. So that means it's achievable. If you know, you see it exists. So I can get that as well. It is there. It's so exciting. Not like, look at them, they're making out like that. Can't believe them. Why can't I get someone? Well, of course, because I'm fat, or, you know, whatever. So you need to look inwards, because none both jealous or envy is never going to do anything good to you. It's only, for me, destructive, more self-destructive, but you're not really being good to the person that you love anyway. You know, if you're with a partner and you're just smuggling him, or you can't go out, what do you think? Or you're sending him 1,000 texts, or calling him every 5 minutes, or, oh, you didn't pick up the phone, or you're cheating on me. You're not really making even that person happy, and those people are more prone to run away from you because of that torture you're giving to them. Why would anyone suffer torture? Like, you're shooting arrows at them, well, they're gonna run away. I would run away. I mean, I did a few times. So you know, you're shooting arrows, metaphorically speaking, obviously. And then you're like, why aren't you coming back? Like, he left, she left. I can't believe that. Well, I knew they were gonna do that. But you're the one who actually did that. Don't give yourself, oh my God, I did that. Oh my God, I drove him or her away. Now you know how to work on yourself. Now you know that it's the confidence that you need, that you don't have enough self-confidence, that you need the belief that you're, you know. Okay, I don't know what just happened, but something popped out, and yeah. So anyway, I'm like, what was that? I don't know, we'll see. Hope this video makes it. I don't know what happened. I mean, I do have storage, but it's gone now. It's not appearing. Never mind, we'll just scratch that. So anyway, so yeah, don't be hard on yourself. We will learn from mistakes, not you. I mean, listen, if you don't have enough self-esteem, it's because of what you've been through in the past. I don't mean your partners necessarily. It could be your parents. It could be traumas from the kindergarten. It could be from school. It could be, I mean, if parents are there for their child and they're observing and they're really paying attention, and then do something about it, then not even school can do anything to them, nothing. But if they don't, if they're, you know, in their heads about the stress, about the work, about they don't really pay attention to the child, if he or she comes back home from school and they're not really happy anymore, but they're, you know, something has happened and you don't do something about it, that can also leave consequences. So, you know, your past led you to who you are today, but that doesn't mean that you can't do anything about it now, so you don't stay the same person as you are now. You don't have to be envy of anyone. You have to only believe that you can achieve it as well. Try to look at it as that person is you. That person is nothing different in comparison to you, but they know they deserve better. They set the standards higher. They know that they can achieve it. And now that's what you need to do as well. You need to set this, higher standards. You need to know that you deserve better. If you don't feel that, work on yourselves. Work with affirmations, work with meditation, go inwards. If you what I read the other day, I don't know, a few weeks back, I don't know, I read it in the past month. When you have first put on the paper the things that you don't like about yourself, and you know what you feel, how you react, what emotion is it, what comes out of you and stuff like that. Then during the day, when you see that emotion pops up, shout in your head, if you can't out loud, but shout change. Because then you can, you have that control. Okay, change. I don't want to feel like this anymore. Change. And then you change your focus to something that is better. So let's say you feel jealous of someone and you're like, your partner is about to leave and you're maybe fuming. Not because, if you know that he was going to leave, but you're maybe worried that, he's going to meet someone. We're not going to extremes now. But you see that bubbling up and you see that bubbling up, and you, in that moment, realizing that you're feeling jealous, just scream in your head, change. I don't want to feel like this. I know it's not good, not for him or her, not for me, not for my vibration. It takes some time. Don't, think, oh my God, I have to change it straight away. But the more aware you are of the emotions that you don't like, and you deliberately change your focus, it takes you towards that, towards that future you, that you're no longer jealous. And then, even if that person meets someone, if they run away, that means that something better is out there for you. And some of them will say, well, I don't want better. Yes, you do. You want a partner that respects you. You want a partner that is going to be looking forward to seeing you every single day. You want a partner that is going to giving you flowers, that it's going to, you're going to be partner with that person, an actual partner. You're not half. That person is not a half. You don't need anyone to complete you. You're whole. That person is a whole, and is two strong individuals. You're together, holding hands, going in the same direction, building the future that both of you want, that is better for you two, that is, you're working on it together, and you're supportive, and, you're excited, and that's what you want. You don't want someone that is gonna maybe go, because I read the other day, this woman, she said, my husband left me for a 21-year-old. She is going to find a better person for herself. She is. Because if that person left because of someone, it doesn't matter the age. I mean, usually nowadays we say the age, but for whomever, if they choose someone over you, then that's good for you. You don't know it yet. You don't know it yet, but you'll see, in the future. Just stay on higher vibration. The more on high vibration you are, the faster you're gonna meet that person. You're gonna, I don't know, have that job. If you envy someone that has money, you're gonna, be there in alignment with your wish, whatever that may be. Try and minimize. I wanted to say stop, but try and at least minimize for now those feelings. Every time you feel jealousy, know that it's your insecurities, yours. You have to. In every video, I say you have to. Okay, you don't have to. I'm not up for it, but I think in every video I say you have to. Well, you don't have to, but. It's gonna be my trademark. You have to, but you don't have to. Anyway, try and minimize. Look inwards. See who made you have that self-esteem. Why don't you believe in yourself anymore? Why you think that your standards need to be that low? Set the standards way high up. Not the expectations. Now, even the expectations, they're good, but if you hook onto them, if you really, in terms of, if you have an expectation and then you're like, okay, that has to happen, otherwise I'm going to feel sad, then it's, if it doesn't come true, it's going to make you feel sad. But if you're exciting about it, if you're expecting it, and even if it doesn't happen, you're like, well, that means something's better coming up. It's fine. I'll just let it go and see what happens. That's the sort of expectation that you want. for creating a future. So yeah, create for you, while we're talking about creating, a future you that doesn't envy when they see someone that they don't have but someone else has, that's just made you, that's my goal, I can have that I want, that's gonna be mine, that house, you know, that type of house or a car, or that experience, that maybe that trip, or that type of relationship, you know, whatever that may be. Think like that. Jealousy, let your partner be free, again, in that definition of what partnership is for you two, not let him do whatever he or she wants. But, you know, let them, if they want to go and hang out with their mates, go let them hang out. If they want to go and have a coffee on their own in the cafe, let them have a coffee on their own in the cafe. But don't try, you know, create a person that it's not jealous, because they're so sure in themselves and they know that they deserve the best partner, that even if that person decides to leave, that means there's something better for them, and there's no reason for you to have low self-esteem. You can see so many actresses or models or singers, they are so beautiful and everything is, you know, let's say outside perfect. You know, they're so insecure that they're jealous. That means that their self-esteem is low, and it doesn't matter how someone is good, you know, beautiful on the outside, or, you know, the perfect weight, the perfect build, the perfect, I don't know, they have everything. Insecurity is not related to that. It's your inner core. It's, you know, you have to go back. Why are you thinking the way that you are now? Why are you so insecure? Usually it's parents wise. Usually, it doesn't have to be, but most likely it is parents. Something happened. Even you don't even have to remember this. Sometimes it happens in the first 3 or 4 years of our lives, but you can recognize that there's something inside. You said, put it on the paper, I am this, that I don't want this. So this is something that I don't want, but I'm putting it out there, so, you know, I can't escape it anymore. And then try to be more and more aware of it. And now imagine the person that you want to be in the future. What are you like without that? What are you like? How do you behave? How do you treat yourself? How do you treat your partner? How do you, when you see someone, practice inside your head, visualize. Just visualize and feel good about it. Just feel good. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Stop. Only do if it feels good. If it doesn't, change. Do something else. Have a nap. Yeah? Okay. Half an hour, brilliant. A bit over, but I think I've said the main things. That's about jealousy. That's about envy. Comment down below if you're ever felt jealous, if you are envy of other people, if you want to change that, if you maybe learned something from this video, what that may be. Leave a heart if you are, you know, this far in the video, if you watch the whole thing. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you next time. I love you so much. Mwah. Bye.